Ladies and gentlemen, live from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977 is Wednesday or Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite or Collision Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings of AEW All Elite Wrestling action, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 2664 of the show. And we'll be talking about AEW Collision, the final one before Blood and Guts. As you know, it's the AEW's version of War Games. And today is November the 8th, 2025, 10:23 p.m. I am very, very happy to announce, though, that I've done everything before 5 o'clock this afternoon. I usually, try to get my laundry done, usually take my shower around this time, but I did everything, managed to get up early and do everything, so I'm very, very happy about that. It's been a wild week, bizarre week here, and I'm just glad it's over. We've got a new week ahead of us as we're getting into the Thanksgiving season, Thanksgiving spirit. That's what we need to be. I know the holiday season has been, always a great time to, get together with our loved ones and our family and friends and whatnot. But I want to acknowledge those who have lost loved ones. Who have lost loved ones over the over the course of this year, and I want to start with a friend of mine that used to go to my church, and him and his wife, Paul Valente. He lost his uncle. His uncle passed away at age 83. And my condolences and prayers go out to Paul Valente and his family. And Leah Hasey also, found out that's his cousin. That's her cousin as well. And but prayers and condolences go out to the Valente family. Also, I want to give a shout out to my coworker, Corbin. He lost his mother a few weeks ago. And my condolences and prayers go out to him, his sister, and his family as well. And just in case they watch my video, so condolences and prayers. And then finally, my condolences and prayers go out to one of my good friends in the network community, and YouTube, good friends of the YouTube Renegades, Jesse Ortiz, a.k.a. Jester in Chains. He just found out he lost his uncle. So condolences and prayers go out to him and his family as well. So to those who I mentioned, condolences and prayers. I know this will be the first Thanksgiving without these loved ones, and it's very, very tough. I want to show my love and encouragement, and just keep your heads up. I'm sure they will be with you in here. Sometimes it is not. I know what it's like to lose a relative, and it's not fun having an empty seat at the table, especially on this holiday season. I know it's a lot of tough, roads to get to and all that, and just letting you know, I'm here for you guys, and I'm here to give words of encouragement, and I want you guys to stay strong, and give you all Shenanigans salute. All right. So, how am I going to be entertaining towards you guys to make you guys feel better? Let's talk about what happened on AEW Collision. As you know, it's the final Collision before Blood and Guts. Is like I said again, AEW's version of War Games. And as you know, and I will reiterate the matches that is going to happen. There's two Blood and Guts matches, one for the men and one for the women. As you know, on the men's side, all 5 members of Death Riders, but all the Death Riders are going to be involved in Blood and Guts this year. All the men on one team, and then the only lone woman in the group, Maria Shafir, in another. And as you know, the women's war games, the women's blood and guts match will be the team of the Triangle of Madness, that's Sky Blue, and Julia Hart, aka the Sisters of Sin, along with Tekla, the Toxic Spider, teaming up with AEW TBS champion Mercedes Moné and Megan Bain and Marina Shafir. They're going up against the team of Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa, the Love Bombs, Timeless Love Bombs, I should say. Also, they'll be joined by the Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. And then they'll be joined by Jamie Hayter and the AEW Women's Champion, Chris Statlander. So, and on the men's side, it'll be all 5 members of the Death Riders. That'll be John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Pac, Daniel Garcia, and Claudio Castagnoli to face the team. To face the team of give me a second. I know Darby Allin will be Darby Allin. I believe Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. I want to see if I'm right about that. Come on, give me something here. All right, give me something. Okay, so let's see if I'm right. I know I could, you know. So let's see if I can. So let's see. Can't stand this phone. I'm trying to scroll up, scroll out, scroll. Come on, scroll. Let me scroll, stupid thing. All right, so let me scroll. All right, here we go. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, it'll be the Conglomeration Paragon and Darby Allin in this matchup, facing the Death Riders. So that's the those are the matches that's happening in Blood and Guts. Also, a Falls Count Anywhere matchup. AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Hangman Adam Page faces Powerhouse Hobbs in a non-title matchup. Get rid of the pen, don't need it. So Collision started off with the Bang Bang Gang going in a tag match against FTR and the Bang Bang Gang. That will be Juice Robinson, a.k.a. Mr. Tony Storm, a.k.a. the luckiest guy ever in that group, and Austin Gunn team up against FTR and Stokely Hathaway. This dude cannot help himself. This dude cannot help himself to get himself into trouble. I mean, Stokely Hathaway, come on, dude, really? He gets, so there's 2 fans. He supposedly had 2 fans. They're yanking off. He's yanking off masks, and his Bandito and Gravity. I'm like, oh boy, you ticked off the other version of Lucha Brothers now, and they were chasing him up the entrance, and then Jet Speed was there waiting for him, and Bandito super kicked Stokely Hathaway, and then Cash Wheeler ended up getting super kicked as well and distracting Dax Harwood, and the Bang Bang Gang took advantage of the situation and ended up winning the matchup. Then then Renee Paquette interviewed Kyle Fletcher about his title defense and what's going to happen. And then Kazuchika Okada says, hey, Konosuke Takeshita is not able to be there, but I'll be there. And we call it a Proto-Okada. So, I get a hunch that Konosuke Takeshita is going to lead the Don Callis family. I really, really do. Because Takeshita, I think Okada's probably pushed him. I personally think that, and I think I think Konosuke Takeshita will be the first one to leave Don Callis' family. They had too many members in that family. It is. They're trying to make them like the NWO Hollywood. Remember that? Remember that? You know, they had too many members. I mean, Don Callis has gone too far. Now he wants to add the Young Bucks and Mark Briscoe to his crew. Come on, seriously, folks. They're gonna have a lot. They're gonna be outnumbered by the whole roster, making a lot of enemies out of them. So, and then Chris Statlander. I don't know, actually, first of all, TNT title on the line. Kyle Fletcher against Ace Austin. This is a heck of a matchup. Ace Austin gave him a run for his money, but Fletcher retained the title in his title defense against Mark Briscoe at Full Gear, in which if Mark Briscoe loses, he has to join the Don Callis family. Don, you don't need no more members. You know, I don't know why you want the Mark Briscoe to join. Come on, you claim you like him. You're an out and out liar, doofball. Anyways, Chris Statlander addressing Mercedes Moné. He said, "I have something that you don't, you know, and it's focus." And Statlander says she's focused on being the AEW Women's World Champion. You do not. Well, you know, also, you know, Mercedes Moné has nothing to lose either. So, you know, it's sort of like, you know, Bret Hart and Diesel in the King of the Ring 1994 when they said Diesel has nothing to lose. You know, because Diesel was the Intercontinental Champion back then. Yeah, 1994 was a big year for Diesel. Then the Death Riders were talking about, and we might as well give them the advantage as courtesy. And then they were confronted by Fletcher and Don Callis, and they basically said, "We don't need your help, and we don't want your help." You know, the Death Riders want to do everything on their own. You know, between the Death Riders and the Don Callis family, they're going to make a lot of enemies, you know, when it's all said and done, man. You're going to have everybody clobbering everybody at ringside or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, Tay, that's Tainara Mello and Anna Jay teaming up against Hyann and Maya World. Tay J picking up the victory. They're the only team that is not in the Blood and Guts match, inside the Blood and Guts match. So you know what I'm thinking? The remaining teams that are, you know, in the women's tag team title tournament. I'm thinking that Tay J, you know, could have the advantage going in. Yeah, they're facing Maria Shafir and Megan Bain in the quarterfinals, but here's the deal. Okay? Tony and Mina are in the Blood and Guts match. So is Maria Shafir and Megan Bain, and so are the Sisters of Sin. You know, the only two teams that could have the advantage going in will be Alex Windsor and Riho and Tay J. In this, you know, and I think one of those two teams could end up walking away the inaugural women's tag team champions. So, speaking of women's champions, Lexi Nair interviewed Athena, who was not happy that she got pinned by Harley Cameron in that tournament matchup as the Babes of Wrath do our advance. There's another team that's going to be in the Blood and Guts match, is the Babes of Wrath. Tay J and Alex Windsor Riho are sitting pretty right now in this tournament. So we'll see what happens there. And so Athena's not very happy because in 2 weeks' time, Athena will put her long reign as Ring of Honor Women's Champion on the line against Harley Cameron. Will Harley make history? Will this young lady make history, becoming the first woman to pin Athena and ending her reign over almost 1,100 days as the Ring of Honor Women's Champion? Or will Athena live up to her forever moniker and keep right on going? It seems like Athena is falling apart here. Because she said Mercedes Moné has failed her, and then Billy Starks. So we'll see what happens in 2 weeks' time in that matchup. Speaking of the women's division, the Blood and Guts Advantage Battle 2, Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue. And Jamie Hayter ended up winning the matchup, but then the Triangle Madness got involved, and then the Babes of Wrath showing up, and then they said let him fight. Harley Cameron and Tekla in the deciding matchup. Tekla did defeat Harley Cameron, so the team of the Triangle of Madness, Mercedes Moné, Megan Bain, and Marina Shafir, will be having that advantage going into Blood and Guts in the women's matchup. Lexi Nair interviewed Jet Speed, and Jet Speed has announced, Jet Speed has announced they'll be taking part in the Casino Gauntlet match at Full Gear, with the winner becoming the first ever AEW National Champion. And then, after the commercial break, Lexi Nair interviewed the former Acclaimed partners of Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, and then she's trying to tell them, hey, Tony Khan wants you guys to be together. You guys, marketing, and then, they said they'll take place in the tailgate brawl and all that. But then, after what Lexi Nair said to them, is don't shoot the messenger, and they said it was Tony Khan's idea. And he said, Tony Khan, we're not going to get involved in it. We're canceling the match, yada, yada. They still can't stand each other. Ugh. Tony Khan, what are you going to do? You try to get these guys back together and, they won't do it. All right, the men's Blood and Guts Advantage Battle number 3, Roderick Strong versus John Moxley. And Pac appears at ringside. Maurice Shafir gets ejected. The rest of the Death Riders get involved. The rest of the conglomeration and Kyle O'Reilly and everybody else get involved. And then when John Moxley went to go back into the ring, something was holding him down. And all of a sudden, he gets counted out. Roderick Strong wins the matchup. And so the team of the conglomeration, the Paragon, and Darby Allin get the advantage. Paragon would be Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. 2 members of the conglomeration, Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe. Well, and where was Darby Allin? Darby Allin was under the ring holding John Moxley down and ended up threatening the Death Riders with a taser, chasing them all out with the taser. That was a beautiful thing. Well, that's all for today's episode 2664. AEW Collision, the final one before Blood and Guts. Again, my prayers and condolences go out to my friends Paul Valente and Leah Hasty for the loss of their relative, Paul's uncle, and also my co-worker Corbin for the loss of his mom, and also to Jester in Chains, a.k.a. Jesse Ortiz, for the loss of his uncle. My prayers go out to all of you, and condolences go out to all of you guys and your families. Know that, keep your heads up, be strong. Know that they will be with you in here, okay, inside your hearts. All right? Never forget what they have taught you. Never forget, always remember them in a good light, all right? Always remember them in memory. They will be with you in spirit, okay? So that is it for now. And tomorrow, join me on the Network 3000 channel once again on David St. Dennis' channel as I do a live reaction of the Patriots as they go up against probably one of the best teams right now in the NFL, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Patriots will be put to the test. The Patriots have a 7-2 record, week number 10. And I do have an announcement on those Patriots, on the Patriot Live reactions, that I know they're facing the Jets this Thursday, but I have an announcement concerning that. So until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raven Bofa 3000 telepictures and distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.